Hello, my name is Tamara Wooten, and I'm here to give my literacy trends presentation. I chose to do my literacy trend on early literacy with a highlighted focus in phonological awareness and phonemic awareness. So enjoy. According to Goodrich and Lonigan, early literacy skills are the developmental precursors to conventional reading skills and are measurable during the preschool years prior to the beginning of formal reading instruction. So basically, early literacy is what you do before your focus for your students are them reading and sounding out, is all those things that prepare students to be higher order readers and able to make those connections. Early literacy skills are strong predictors of future reading ability. So when you're looking at those early literacy skills, you're looking at phonological awareness, print knowledge, and oral language, all of which we will talk about during this presentation. Phonological awareness is the ability to detect and manipulate the individual sound components of words independent of meaning. So for example, if you say, what sound do you hear at the beginning of apple? If a student goes, ah, that falls under phonological awareness. They may not necessarily know that ah is a and a is a vowel and all of those different things, but they're able to discriminate those sounds using their ears. And so that falls under that umbrella of phonological awareness. When you think of phonological awareness, under it is phonemic awareness. So phonological awareness kind of embodies all of those different fundamental concepts. Print knowledge refers to children's knowledge of the conventions as well as knowledge of letters and letter to sound correspondence. So that would be, like we said, a student seeing the letter A and recognizing that to be A, or a student seeing the letter J and saying that's my name and their name being Jasmine. They understand that when I see this, it means that. And so that's that print knowledge that falls under that early literacy category. And then the last of these is oral language. Oral language refers to the ability to use spoken language to understand and convey meaning. And it includes children's vocabulary and syntactic knowledge, among other skills. That oral language, it's a student not saying me drink cookies. Them understanding when you eat a cookie, you're eating it, not drinking it. Those different things play a role in oral language, as well as where they place their verbs and their nouns and that kind of thing. And we can also understand in early literacy why our ELL students could sometimes not struggle, but have to work to differentiate those connections because of how the syntax falls in their language. So, yes. Okay, these are extra 6 variables that correlate with early literacy. You can look at these and draw multiple studies with large numbers of children, but also maintain their predictive power when you're looking at these, such as IQ. So these, they're not always affected. I don't know what I just said either, but it's okay. Alphabet knowledge, phonological awareness, rapid automatic naming of letters or digits, rapid automatic naming of objects or colors, writing name, phonological memory. So I'm going to read this to you since I kind of mumbled through it just now. I'm going to reread it so we can get a better understanding. It says, these 6 variables not only correlated with later literacy as shown by data drawn from multiple studies with large numbers of children, but also maintain their predictive power even when the role of other variables such as IQ or socioeconomic status were accounted for. So basically what they're saying is these are good predictors to show literacy even when you're considering a student's culture and all those different kind of things, regardless of where they come from or how high their IQ is. These different these different variables are going to play into that early literacy piece. As I stated somewhat earlier, I'm going to go back through. Phonological awareness is considered an umbrella in early literacy that phonemic awareness falls under, as well as phonics. So again, phonemic awareness would be them understanding that is the sound you hear at the beginning of apple. They don't have to see it. They don't have to. It's all dependent on their ears. Whereas phonics is them being able to see a, say that's a, no, a makes the a sound, and I hear a, at the beginning of apple. So phonemic awareness focuses on identifying and manipulating sounds alone. Skills to build phonemic awareness are auditory focused. So your phonemic awareness is auditory. You can be blind and be able to develop phonemic awareness skills. Phonics is the relationship between the sounds of spoken language and the letters and spellings that represent those sounds in written language. Is early literacy necessary? This quote to me completely answers that question, because it says children who do not develop early literacy skills, especially phonological awareness and alphabet knowledge, prior to kindergarten are at risk for reading difficulties. Meaning, although students, no education, so to speak, is required before a student gets to kindergarten, according to this quote, if they enter into kindergarten without being exposed to print, without beginning to train their ears, being exposed to books, they are pretty much destined to struggle in kindergarten, and because of the rigor that occurs in kindergarten. So yes, early literacy is necessary. Did you know, these are a couple of cute did you know things that I found very interesting, and so I'm going to read those off. Did you know the brain of a 3-year-old is 2.5 times more active than adults? So if we take that in, that means that when you're looking at a 3-year-old, they have the ability to receive so much knowledge. And at the same time, if we let that window of opportunity close while their brains are developing as fast as they are, then that makes sense as to why when they get to kindergarten, they haven't had any exposure, as to why they would struggle as much as one would. Also, brain development is contingent on a complex interplay between genes and the environment. Meaning, yes, your brain development it does have something to do with what mommy and daddy gave you, but it also has something to do with the environment. Meaning that if you infuse your environment with print and books and all of those things to build early literacy, then you can very much jumpstart your child's brain as well. Experiences wire the brain. Repetition strengthens the wiring. So it is necessary to keep at it with students prior to those kindergarten plus years, because their brain is taking it in and they're able to learn what they hear over and over. Brain development is not linear, and early relationships affect wiring, meaning we cannot wait until a student is 6 and 7, or even 5 for that matter, to begin exposing them to early literacy concepts. What are the pros and cons of early literacy? There are many pros. I'm just going to read some off to you. Some of the early literacy pros are vocabulary building, brain development, academic success, multisensory development, emotional awareness, improves speech and cognitive skills, builds motivation, curiosity, and memory. And we're going to take a quick pause at this moment. Come on, girl, let's go.